welcome back to Tuesday Talks. We've been doing this pretty intermittently now because we've been super busy opening the studio.
Yes.
We had such a great trial week, and now we're open for regular public hours, so be sure to check out our website for updated scheduling and come say hello.
Yes,
to
come
us
say
in
hi.
person. And today, for our Tuesday Talks, we are going to speak a little bit about mindfulness. And this was brought up because I heard this really great bit on the radio this morning by We Are Listening, and it was just about, somebody asked a question like, what does mindfulness actually mean? What does that even, I hear this word thrown out all the time. People are saying you should be more mindful. What does that look like? And I loved the approach because they brought up, let's talk about what mindfulness isn't. Mindfulness isn't just sitting on your yoga mat for 5 hours a day. Mindfulness is finding a routine in something and deciding that you want to pay attention to it and just acknowledging what those feelings are. Acknowledging that this is where I choose to spend my time, my attention, and then also being present with, how does that feel? How am I feeling right now in this moment while I'm doing this? While I choose to come to my yoga mat and maybe I'm only here for 30 minutes, but am I truly in the moment for those 30 minutes, or am I somewhere else? Am I choosing to be somewhere else? And what am I paying attention to in that? Like, is it social media? Is it stress about work or school or my relationships? What, just really like acknowledging what is consuming your attention. Yeah. And so I loved it. It was so good. And so we're just going to expand on that a little bit.
Yeah, I love that. Paying attention to whatever it is that you want to be mindful of. So I think with children, it works really well when you explain to them in the sense of using your senses. So in this moment, I'm going to be present in this moment. I'm going to be mindful in everything that I am and who I am and what I'm being in this moment. So touch a feel. What am I feeling? Is it my body? Is it something else? And then breathing as you do that so you can truly feel that energy as well as the other senses.
The energy came.
Yeah, so then also you can do like a taste test, which would be really cool, using your senses in that moment. And eating, when children eat, making sure that they chew every single time that they eat, enough to where it goes down properly.
Yes.
And that everything is just mindful. How can we be mindful in this moment?
Yeah, and even just talking to them about their five senses. So like when they're doing like free choice time at home, like let's choose an activity to do, and then doing it together and being like, oh, well, how do you feel doing this activity? Like, what do you see? What makes you happy that you're seeing, right? How does it smell? Like, is there a certain smell to like your markers or your crayons? The scented markers are so much fun.
Non-toxic.
Yes.
Okay, so after they finish an activity, like my daughter cleaned her room all by herself this morning, and I asked her, how do you feel like after doing that process? And she said, tired. And I said, yes, that's a lot of work. So being mindful of, yes, when you do clean your room, you're going to be tired. However, it's clean and you feel a sense of like accomplishment and independence. And then she shows me that she's more mature and independent and responsible, and then she's able to do more things. So I think being mindful is really important and
acknowledging
beneficial.
those feelings.
Yes.
That's like a huge part of it, is doing all that and just acknowledging how they feel in that moment. Mm-hmm. And it can be anything, like tired, like there's no wrong answer. They could say doesn't feel good, and then you say, okay, well, what can we do to where you'll enjoy this a little more? Like maybe we can clean up before it gets so messy, or then you offer other options to change possibly a negative feeling. But there's always that being mindful of and acknowledging how you really feel.
Yeah, I think that's awesome because I also have encountered children that say, oh, this is boring. And I'm like, well, can you make it fun? Because you're choosing to make it boring. I'm having a great time over here. I'm choosing to have fun. I'm being mindful of how I'm showing up and how I'm interacting with the other children. And I think if we can guide our children to get on that mindset earlier in life, then they won't have as many reasons to be upset about past experiences, because they'll just be so understanding and mindful that everything is happening for me, and what am I learning, and how am I growing in this? Who is my being? Who am I right now? How am I being? How am I showing up?
Yep.
So being mindful is super awesome.
It's definitely a practice, not a perfect.
Yes,
So
yes.
don't be hard on yourself and enjoy the process.
Trust yourself. And the process.
The universe has got your back.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
We'll
See you
see you
next
next
time.
week.
Adios.